Hey guys, Rich here with Network Funding, and today in the studio we have a really interesting guest and some that we really love. Her experience was with Network Funding, left Network Funding, and then came back to Network Funding. So, Kristin, we're always happy to have you here, and we were happy to have you come back after you left us for a short period of time.
I did.
And it's an interesting story because sometimes we get caught up in our own environments and the grass always seems greener.
I was offered an opportunity with another company to basically make a strategic move to build a branch. So I was in a coaching program for roughly about 15 months and was approached to, hey, we know you love your company, you love everything about it, but we'd like to offer you an opportunity to build a new branch and build out your team and kind of use everything that you've been going through with coaching in order to move forward. And one of the things that we talked about all the time is I told him, I said, you have to understand, like, I absolutely love network funding. And so for me to leave a company I love, there has to be a reason that I really am going to make this move. I asked all of the right questions. Unfortunately, I quickly learned, roughly about 2 weeks in the first couple transactions, that what I was told was definitely not how the company was run. And the communication was absolutely terrible. And the culture was not what I was used to. And I started to miss network funding a lot.
Culture's important.
Yes.
And what's also important, you know, everybody gets recruited, our industry, all of our people get recruited every single day. And there's always promises and they want to poke out weaknesses. Like every company has a weakness. It's how you work around it and address it. And you don't get to understand the recruiter's side, their weaknesses, because no one's going to expose that until you get in and experience it. So, you know, at Network Funding, we don't make promises we can't keep. That's the whole idea with Network. We want to build so much value that if you are enticed to leave, what are you going to lose when you leave? Even when I'm recruiting new people, Kristin, it's almost like they want to hear outrageous, crazy things about your company. Like, tell me how incredible you are. And sometimes when we're talking, you know, it might not be credible to one person, you know, and then to another, they're expecting different things. And oftentimes recruiters get caught into promising everything. And we just don't try to do that. We want you to come in and have that experience that we recruited you on. Can you give me an example of something you experienced with network funding and then what you got when you did leave for that little period of time?
Oh, absolutely. For me, network funding in any department, whether it's support or underwriting or closing or even just communicating with you, everybody always goes above and beyond to help and create solutions. And that's very important to me. And that was one of the things that was promised when I was recruited, that there was transparency and full communication. Everybody's always willing to help. Everybody's very kind and respectful. And unfortunately, when you start looking at other companies and other opportunities, especially the larger companies that are out there, you get less personalized service. And one of the reasons why I came back to network funding and why I love network funding is because I love the personalized service. For me, I work better at a smaller mid-sized company where I can have personal relationships with individuals, be able to call an underwriter and say, hey, I need your help. How do you think I should structure this? What's the solution here? You know, I have been very lucky because I picked up the phone and called other branch managers and asked them for help.
Yeah.
And they have been willing, every single one has been willing to take the time to talk to me, to help me structure things. I ask for feedback, you know, how are you doing this so well? What do you think are your strengths here? And everybody loves to communicate and tell me those things, and those are the things that I love. Those are also the things I did not get when I left. They were promised to me. What I expected was transparency and communication and willingness to help. And unfortunately, I got the other side to it. I just learned really quickly, oh my gosh, I miss network funding. I got to call Rich.
Well, I'm so glad that you did. And that, you know, that says a lot about network funding because culture is so important. We talked about this with a new branch yesterday and how that is all the heart of our culture. Nobody's happy until a loan gets all the way through the stages and closes and some keys are exchanged for a new home buyer and they've had the best experience. And that's built into our culture, because if we strive to give the best experience to our clients, we must have a great experience with our employees first.
Oh, absolutely.
They have to be able to trust that experience, sell that experience, add value to working with you. And that is, again, I am so proud of Network Funding because we live by that. When you came back, that was the first question I asked. Why are you coming back? And I was genuine. I wanted you
absolutely.
to tell me the reason you felt Network Funding was the company for you. I wanted to hear you say it, and you nailed it. I was like, welcome back. Well, Kristin, thank you for coming on and sharing your experience with us today. And we are so fortunate to have you back. We're very grateful to have you back. So thank you so much. And for those watching who want to learn a little bit more about Network Funding, please reach out. You can get us online at join.nflp.com. or you can visit our corporate website at nflp.com. My name is Rich Jefferson. I'm the Executive Vice President, and if you want that information or you want to have a phone call, please reach out to me.